Hi, this is Ryan Hoff with your AIC Legislative Minute for March 10th, 2023, brought to you this week by the NACo High Performance Leadership Academy. This is a great leadership program for county officials put on in partnership with your National Association of Counties. Their next session begins April 7th, so be sure to check out the program soon if you're interested. This week, the Indiana General Assembly has returned to committee hearings as they begin deliberating bills that have passed the opposite chamber. There hasn't been much official action on bills of county interest yet, so I will highlight a couple of bills that we expect to be heard next week in committee. First, Senate Bill 325 would clarify the definition of property that is eligible for a homestead deduction. A recent tax court case interpreted this definition differently than had been the status quo for many years, namely, that a homestead deduction is provided on one house, one garage, and up to 1 acre of land. However, the ruling of the tax court would allow calculation of the homestead to be based on where within a parcel any buildings are located. Unfortunately, county assessors don't have data on where within the parcel any buildings are located to be able to calculate the definition on a massive scale needed to administer the 800,000 homestead parcels across the state. Next week, we will ask the House Ways and Means Committee to return Senate Bill 325 to the status quo definition previous to this tax court decision, while also asking that they help to prevent 3-year look-back refunds when there is a change in law, such as this decision. Next, Senate Bill 4 on public health funding may be heard next week in the House Public Health Committee. This bill remains a local option, but we're asking that the legislature return to the 20% level of effort that was originally requested by the Governor's Public Health Commission. At this level, only one county would have to increase public health spending to be eligible for increased state funding. At the 25% local level of effort in the House version of the budget, over a dozen counties would have to increase spending to match the available state dollars. Also, there is growing discussion among legislators that any money for public health should go to hospitals and other providers rather than counties. This would be a fundamental departure from county government-based services and especially worrisome at a time when hospital costs are already under scrutiny. If you want to make sure that this investment and the oversight of this money remains with counties rather than being handed to hospitals and other providers, please be sure to discuss this bill with your legislators. This is very timely as the Senate is considering the funding of this program within the state budget, while the House is considering the underlying authorization, all within the next week or two. Also next week, there will be committee hearings on issues such as MVH fund restrictions, tax sales, publication of public notices, county contracting, auditing standards, and more. We're working on all of these issues and more, so if you have any questions or if you have interesting conversations with legislators, please let us know so that we can follow up with them as well. Have a great weekend. This has been the AIC Legislative Minute brought to you by the NACo High Performance Leadership Academy.